Welcome to the Rufus and Tloe podcast. I'm your host, Randy, aka Rufus, and joining me once again is my co-host, Tloe. Hi, Tloe.
Hi, Randy.
How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I have had a decent week, and I'm lying because I
Lying. Okay.
no, it's total. I have been trying to follow in your footsteps and get my stream off the ground, get my setup going. Because here's a question I have for you right off the bat. You were streaming from your PlayStation when you like just hit the button and your PlayStation just like records, and
Yes.
you were doing that.
Yes.
What was wrong with that setup? Because I feel 10 times more frustrated now that I'm trying to buy all this high-tech shit, and
It's
I want to
it's literally because of the overlay. Like everybody has an overlay, so you
I
had
know.
to get that little card thing. And I thought that the only way to do that was like buy a fucking PC. So I
yeah.
bought like this PC, and now the shit doesn't even work.
Oh my god! I got one better for you. I tweeted today that Best Buy was like, "Hey, UPS is running late with your box for your PC that you order," and I thought it was really funny that Best Buy said, "Hey, you know that guy UPS? Yeah, he lost your shit, man." Like they were just like throwing UPS under the bus. So I decided I wrote a tweet and I deleted it because there's no reason to bring any more anger into the world. But I was just like, I wanted to be like, yo, Best Buy, why you bringing UPS down, man? Why are you talking shit on UPS? But I ended up just saying, hey, Best Buy, UPS, thanks for letting me know that my stuff is going to be late. I'm in no hurry whatsoever. And so I tweeted that.
Yeah, I have nothing to do. No plans.
I'm good. I can wait a little bit longer. Okay, so maybe you tell me if it's just me. I watch a YouTube video and I say, all right, OBS, how to get an overlay, linking it through my Twitch, through my this, through my that, and I'm watching all these videos and the guy's like, it's simple. Double click on your outsource, open your double source, hit your settings, go through, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this means as of right now. I have what looks like the same thing I had with the PlayStation, and yet it's locking my computer up completely.
Yeah.
Have you had any more luck?
watched. No, because I honestly, okay, so I took this weekend off. I was like, I just need a break because the last 2 times that I tried to stream Warzone were just a shit show.
Right.
And I literally was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I wanted to just go crawl under a rock and hide my face and never do it ever again.
Yeah.
So I needed a break. So that's why I did marbles on. I don't even know what day it was, but
Nope. Listen, I will tell you there's nothing more opposite of Warzone than a game in which you press a button and 8 people watch you watch a marble, and you're like, go this person, go. Like I was cracking up that the fact that that's all your computer can hit.
It was the most bizarre thing. Because like everybody was saying like play marbles, and in my head I'm like, how long can you really sit here and play marbles? Like how long is this really supposed to go on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was just ridiculous. But no, I watched a million different YouTube videos trying to set up everything for my PC, and it's just Warzone is just such a big game.
Yes.
And
that's
it's
exactly.
Like
Yep, it's the mother of all games.
It's so much for your
now.
PC. Yeah,
Yes.
it's so much for your PC to handle, and the lag on my stream is just I don't know. I don't even know how to fix it. I have no idea. I've tried everything.
Well, that's what's funny is, Fizz has been helping me. I switched over most of my logins to match them all up, and I mean everything looks fine. Even I got Spotify, I got a Discord. I'm all set. Problem is when I run anything at all, any game whatsoever, and again, I want it to work for Warzone so it can work for anything. To me, you want it to work for the game that really gives everything makes it more complicated, because everything else after that'll be simple. And once we get this, it'll be fine. But my goodness, I am not kidding. I'm glad, like, and I didn't even talk to you, I don't think, over the weekend. I was just like, yep, fine, we'll do this. Like, we will record at a different point because I have been face down in my computer tweaking stuff
Really?
and going into settings and going into settings. Now, it's my fault because I'm running off a laptop, and I understand it's not going to run at all well, but it's not running at all. And I think if that computer shows up, and like I'm basically 2 steps behind you, I don't know what else to do other than basically pay somebody to to tell me what I'm doing wrong. So
Oh yeah, I've thought about it. I actually have thought about it.
well, the good news is there's no time frame. I mean, it's similar to the podcast, like. And I, like I said, I spoke to Viz a little bit, and he goes, the hardest thing with helping Tloe is you have people who are so willing to jump on, like, your test, do not join this. And there's 6 people, and you're like, okay, great. This is not anything. I can't. We're just trying to tweak stuff. So I was
Yeah, and then
hoping-
everybody's commenting, saying like what's wrong, and that it adds way more stress.
Yes, but these are the same people who they're going to be there when you get this. So it's funny.
Yeah.
I jokingly said I was really frustrated, and I am the same way somebody who's doing woodworking or putting a puzzle together is frustrated. Like, I know I could do this, and I know that once I get the first couple pieces in place, it's going to fall into. But I mean, I woke up one day a month ago having zero interest in any of this, and now it's, God love my wife and my son. They're just, hey, we're going to dinner. You want to come? And I'm like, Twitch, nah, or like, and they're just like, oh, okay, well, we'll bring you back a sandwich. And I'm like, Discord. And they're like, all right, French fries too. So,
Oh my God. So they understand.
More than I ever thought they would. Like, I have.
That's awesome.
Yes, and the end result is, I mean, the goal in this is to do something that's fun, to spend time with my son. I know he loves to play, and my wife's totally on board with him being on stream with me because for the most part it's just a couple people, and. I mean, if my kid could play piano, I'd take him to a recital. If he could, if he was good at debate, we'd be up there clapping along and like, oh my God, yeah, that's right, little girl, he's smarter than you. But his skill set is just video games, and I couldn't be prouder. So
and he loves it.
He's the best. I don't want it to turn into a bragging thing, but he's absolutely as enjoyable. I got to spend the day with him today because I was off from work, and my wife was at work, so it's once every 2 or 3 weeks my schedule lines up where I get him for the whole day, and boy, it's a romper room in here where we're just, although I will say that as a 3-year-old, he wanted to wrestle, and we were playing trust fall. I taught him what trust fall was, which is
God, okay.
Yeah, so he just falls backwards, and I catch him, and then I would pretend to fall backwards, and he'd be like, no, you're too heavy, I can't catch you. So I did it once, and I guess he was nervous that I was going to hit him too hard, so he just threw his leg up and caught me in the neck. So my neck is like tweaked, and it's my own fault. I
Oh my God.
I shouldn't have played that rough with them, but still worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, I'll be laughing at work tomorrow, like, why are you walking funny? And like, my kid couldn't catch me in trust fall. They're like, isn't he 3? Like, yes, sir, he is.
A quarter of your size.
Do you do you have any siblings, cousins? I know you don't have any kids, but do you?
I have.
I know
no
nothing
kids.
about you.
No kids.
Okay, great. Okay, good to know.
Do you?
Are there
No.
neighbors'
I have
kids
no
running
kids.
around in your front lawn, or?
No, I am in the city, so in an apartment. There's no children really, which is great. No
but not
offense.
legally. There's not like it's not. There just happens to not be any.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I have a little brother. He lives in Montana because he's going to school there.
Okay. Very cool.
How old is he? He's 19. He just turned 19. So
If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, is this the one that finally got to race or drive a stock? Was it a stock
Yes.
car? Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah. I got so much FOMO because I was like, oh my God, I want to be home. Like it made me
Yeah.
so homesick. But my dad sent me a bunch of photos and some videos, and I think it was he was like fourth or something out of it's like 12 cars,
Oh
and he
wow.
made it to like the third lap or something. Like he had three more laps to go, and then there was something wrong with the car, so he couldn't finish.
Gotcha.
But I guess he did really well, and I think he's going to do more racing next year in the summer when he's home from school.
Is this something
So
he's
hopefully I'll be
done?
able to see it.
Has he done this his whole life? Is it something he's just recently gotten into?
No, this was his first race ever.
Okay. But he
So
does know
my
how to. He
dad
does
used
know
to
how to
do
drive
it.
a car, though, right? I mean, it's not like your dad just didn't
He
say,
does.
"Hey."
No, yeah, he knows how to drive a car.
Okay. All right. So that's
I guess
awesome.
it started with like they went what's it called? Go-karting for my
Hmm.
dad's birthday,
Okay.
and they went with one of my dad's friends who owned the race car,
Oh wow.
and he was impressed and knew that my brother was interested, so he was like, "Get in the car. Yeah, there's a race coming up, so it's yours."
That is, there are times in your life where I don't know what'll come of it, but I remember opportunities like that where you just bump into somebody who, same with this, like the fact that he ran into one of your dad's friends and he just picked up on something, and like
Hmm.
if this becomes a passion of his, or even if it's just a hobby of his and it's something he really likes, like it's so random how certain circumstances can come up like
Yeah.
that. And was this race in Montana, or is he back home where you guys are from?
No, it was in Washington, where I'm from.
Okay.
Yeah. So he
And
doesn't go back to Montana until the end of the month, I think.
okay.
So like
All right.
maybe next week.
Very good. Now you're in Texas. How do you? I've been in Pennsylvania my whole life. In fact, from
Uh-huh.
birth till now, I've only lived. Although I've lived in like 6 or 7 different places, and had a house and lost a house and had an apartment, but it's always been within a 2 hour radius. I've never really gone, other than vacationing, too far from here. How'd you go from Texas
Really?
to? Or I'm sorry, yeah. I'm kind of I like to travel, but only
Mm-hmm.
because my wife does. I was pretty much a
Mm-hmm.
homebody for a long period of time, so I like where we are, and I know we're going to end up here forever now because we've put too much work and money into this. So
Yeah.
I'm not switching out. But how'd you go from Montana to Texas?
Well, I went from Seattle, Washington to
Yeah,
Texas.
Washington State. Sorry.
Yeah. It's an interesting story. Um, how do I? Okay, so honestly, honestly, there was a boy involved.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, we met in Mexico,
Oh, geez. Wow.
Cabo.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he's from Houston, and then I'm from Seattle.
Okay.
And we just kind of, I don't know, we're just dating here and there, like doing long distance. And then decided that that wasn't really going to work. And so I decided that I was going to move down to Texas with my friend
Hmm.
who now lives in Austin. Because I was like, I'm not just going to like move all the way down to Houston or just in Texas in general. Like, that's crazy. But about a
One
year
step less
later,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, about a year later, it's exactly what I did.
Okay.
So, and I didn't have a career in Washington when I left. I was just kind of doing my own thing. I was still trying to figure my life out. All my friends and my family are still in Washington, but for some reason, I was just able to pick up and say, let's do something else. Like I was totally down for just, I don't know, I guess like a new change of pace and a new scenery, and just I've created a life here of my own, and I think that that's what I really like about it.
Hmm.
I feel like way more, I don't want it to get like deep, but I feel way more like independent since I'm here now, and I feel like it's just something that I needed to do to get up on my feet because I don't know, now I have my career and I went back to school and I got a better head on my shoulders since moving down here.
Yeah, there's I spent my younger years, and I'm a tad bit older than you.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. Thanks for bringing that up. Listen, young lady. No, that's exactly what I want to talk about. Is
Uh-huh.
when I was much younger and I worked for a company, an auto parts company. You know, I would do my job and go home, and I'd see the guys who are probably my age now, or maybe even younger, who just, you know, they weren't too happy with the life choices they made, and instead of bettering their lives, they would find it in necessary to tell people like me at the time, much younger, what we were doing wrong with our life, or how, you know, what we could do right. And I thought, when I'm
Hmm.
older, the last thing I ever want to do is tell anybody ever anything, because I only know me. I don't know what anybody else needs. So, but when somebody like you says that, and figures out, you know, like, I wanted to do it on my own. I want to take a risk. Like,
Hmm.
it's just nice to hear somebody who, you know, knows exactly, like like you said, you had to take a leap, and there was no, you didn't have any idea that it was going to work out the way it is. But, you know, to use
Yeah.
the term career, you know, I can't say I've ever really had a career. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, gun for hire. I mean, every job I've ever had, I'm just like, do you need me to do something? Because I can learn that
Yeah.
job. So, and how did you end up choosing the career you have now? I can't remember what, I know what it specifically is, but I can't remember what it's called.
An esthetician.
There you go.
Yeah, that big weird word. But
Yes.
um I've always been into like the beauty side
Okay.
of things. I've always done my friends' makeup from like dances and just I don't know, going out. And so then I decided my friend who was in beauty school for hair, she told me I just need to go for skincare. And I was like, okay, can I do makeup? And then she's like, yeah, I think so. And I had a meeting and I just decided to go do it. And this was, how old was I? I was probably like 18, going on 19. So still super young. And then ended up getting a job with MAC Cosmetics through my school. And after that, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, I'm set. I'm good. Whatever. And I didn't even go and get my esthetician state license because I was just like not even thinking about down the line, years later, career wise. I was just like, I have a job now that I really like. So I'm good. So I did that for like 2 years. And then this whole Texas thing happened and decided I was going to move. And so I quit Mac and went and got a job as a server for a couple months, saved up some quick money and moved down here and couldn't really find anything for a job here that I actually liked doing. And it was really hard for the first year, like really, really, really hard. And because you don't know anybody, you don't have like a routine or anything.
Can't even
And
imagine.
so, yeah, it was really, really hard. So then I went back to school for aesthetics and just kind of got my shit together. And I went and I did my license and took my tests. And yeah, that's about it. I decided to do it all over again, just with like, I was going to be more stern and more strict and like get my shit together kind of.
Yeah, and that's hard too. I think uh to be able to start over doing it twice and relocating, and then just being a little
Yeah.
bit more focused on it. I I jokingly said at one point that I've listened to podcasts, which that's what this is. And just a reminder, everybody, you're listening to somebody. It's supposed to be about a video game, but we're off the rails today. I Now I lost my train of thought again. Where was I going with this? Oh my goodness! I just wanted to recap that this wasn't just a friendly conversation, and listening to podcasts at work. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have I this is not supposed to sound like a brag. It's going to, and I mean it.
Uh-huh.
I mean it in the best way possible. I have
Okay.
accidentally I've been blessed with the ability to be basically average or above average at almost everything I've ever tried, which means the downside to that is I put very little effort into the things I do. And so I know at this point in my life, at the age I am, like, I jokingly tell the people I work with, I'm like, feel free to remind me, hey, you didn't do all of your work, or hey, where are you going? You're wandering around and not paying attention. Like, I will never be offended by that. I have the kind of, brain capacity, like the dog from Up, who just goes, oh, squirrel. Like, I think that's from Up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am very easily distracted. I consider myself intelligent, but I spread my focus around so much that there's times when I'm not paying attention to have to, like, let me put it this way. Around my house, there are probably 7 or 8 projects that I started. They call me Mr. 90% for a reason. I don't like to complete tasks because while I'm working on one, I'm envisioning doing, 7 other things. So to bring this back around to video games, which I'm going to do right now, if this kills me, I will have a computer set up. I will have the stream up and running. I don't care if no one watches. Because I'm doing it because I like it.
You'll have viewers for sure.
Well, I appreciate that.
People will love to watch you. I promise.
Well, thank you. I take that as, and just like I think I complimented you too, like there are 1,001 type of streamer, and I'm not saying that none of them are interesting. I think that everyone has their thing, their draw. You got guys who are excellent at just really, really good at playing and have a really nice overlay and communicate. I think a compliment you gave me that it really stuck with me, and I don't do it on purpose, but I need to remember that if I ever do have followers, is I love to interact with the chat while I'm part of the chat, like when I'm not the streamer, because I know that it's so hard to focus. I did a test the other day on a stream, and at one point I had 12 people, and I don't know how. Yes, I don't know what happened. I've been promoting my stream online, and it doesn't exist yet. Okay. So 12 people showed up, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? 2 people got in a fight. It was hysterical. What? Yes. So okay. So when I was talking to Fizz, he said, I mentioned the podcast, and he's like, boy, you both of your personalities would work to that, and I'd be glad to help you snowball for ideas. And the one thing he's totally on board. He wants to, he thinks, segment it and kind of have an idea what you're going to talk about ahead of time. So I was really happy that he said that. And I lost my train of thought again. Dang it.
Fizz.
So he was in that stream, and we were talking about ideas, and I thought, well, what I want to do is Warzone is cool. I don't know if I'll ever get good at it, and it'll always be something I want to play, especially when you're on and the community that you have. But for my own personal taste, I thought the first thing I should do is find a game I like. So over the next 3 to 4 weeks, once my stream runs, I'm going to randomly play 16 games that I've never played before.
16?
Right. So do you know about sports at all? Like tournament styles where 2 teams play and the winner moves on, and kind of like the Final Four bracket. So So imagine a bracket, but instead of teams, you have games. So I streamed for 2 hours on Saturday. Sunday was a shit show and I quit. But Saturday, I played 1 game for an hour and another game for an hour. And I kind of got the vibe, what am I good at? What do I like? What part of the game is frustrating? Who was into watching me play? Was it funny to see me struggle? So I will do that multiple times over the next couple of weeks. So the 2 games I played on Saturday were Let It Die? Let It Ride? Something like that. And
I think it was Let It Die. I stalked your page today.
Oh, did you? That's really awesome.
Yeah, at work I did. I was bored.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I think at one point I teased you about how the first time you streamed the brightness was so high it looked washed out, and
Yes.
when I look back
Yes.
at look at mine and it's it's so bright, it's annoying, and it makes me very unhappy, and I just think, well, that's what I get. I deserve to not know about my settings as well.
Yeah, that's what you get. Oh God.
So I have those first two games, and obviously the one was more interesting. What'd you say? Let It Die. I think it was Let It Die. So
Mm-hmm.
at one point in the stream, someone's like, "Hey, I've played this game before. You should blah blah blah. You should." And I'm sorry if you're listening. You should store all your stuff, store all your weapons in your satchel or something like that. And then someone else was in the chat, and they're like, "Hey, man, leave him alone. No one wants to watch you tell this guy how to play the game." And
Oh my
another guy was,
God.
I know. So the other guy was like, "Hey, he asked me," and as I was just like, "All right, everybody, we're all friends. This is a friendly chat. No worries. Let's be civil." And when it was over, my wife goes, "How'd that go?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Two people like I only had 6 people there at one point, and 2 people were fighting with each other, and the internet's scary to me."
Oh my God. That's crazy that people started fighting.
Well,
Was that your
I
first?
think
That was your first stream?
yes. So
Wow.
it was the first one that actually like registered and had information that was correctly listed, and it wasn't just listed as test. So
Mm-hmm.
and I think that was one I ran just off the PlayStation. That's why in the beginning when I asked you like, was that what was the hardest, like why did you switch from that? I think that my goal, like you overall, is to have like a Discord and have Spotify play through it and really make a community. But the foundation of it is having all the software and the setup. I'll be moving my
Yeah.
setup to out of the living room, so it's not just
Mm-hmm.
a shit show of animals and people walking through and neighbors knocking on the door to borrow a cup of sugar and such. So, um,
Wait,
but I
so what?
got
Oh, sorry, go.
no, I was gonna move on to something else. But what was your question?
Oh, I was gonna ask you what went wrong on what would you say Sunday? Your Sunday
Yeah,
stream
so
that made you quit?
it it's my own fault too because I decided to have an unboxing day because I thought everything was on my porch. I think it was even maybe it was Saturday that it didn't come, and then Sunday I tried doing it half-ass. So I thought I'm gonna have an unboxing day because here's a small box and a big box on my porch. I'm like, that's my
Mm-hmm.
computer, my monitor, and I also been calling it a Delgado to everyone who it's also not a Delgado, it's an Elgato. So I feel like a moron. So I'm like, yeah,
Oh
man,
yeah,
I got my capture card, the Delgado 60, and they're like,
yeah.
yep, nope, that's not what it's called. So I opened up the boxes thinking, all right, here's my Elgato and it turns out one box was the Elgato and the other box was just toilet paper from Sam's Club. So it was not my computer.
Oh,
So I thought, well, let's see what happens when I plug my capture card into my MacBook Pro from 2013, and I
mm,
had 100% bit rate drop or whatever it's called. So it was not working at all. And
oh,
I just kept trying to lower the quality instead of just
uh-huh.
realizing that it can't handle it. I should have
Yeah,
known better, but I was ambitious. I mean, I felt like it was gonna it was gonna work if I tried it in some way, and it did
uh-huh.
not. So, but life lesson: I gotta have patience. I should know
Yeah.
better than to
I
just
know it's all about the patience and it's fucking sucks.
yeah.
I have zero patience, so this is really testing me. It really, really is.
Well,
Ah,
back to what you were saying, it was very smart of you to take a little bit off, take time off from the
a
weekend,
break. Yeah.
break, right, and just get away from it because if it's not fun, and I'm not saying that it read that way, everyone wants to help you, but if you're not enjoying
Mm-hmm.
it, then there's no way it can be enjoyable for anybody.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing you could have done is step away from it for a little bit of time and come back to it and back to I think there's something that I wanted to touch on too. Again, back to what we were talking about mainly with the podcast is Warzone. Not only is a complicated game in itself, it taxes the computer, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
supposedly online it's very broken, and there's a lot of people who cheat and hack, and it's an overly saturated game right now. I mean, everyone's playing it, so to set ourselves up on episode 1 to say that our goal is to win one of these things. Hindsight's trying to tell me that there's probably something else. And it's also not Fall Guys, but there's probably going to be something that
it's not Fall Guys.
It's the worst. It's so bad. I played it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, this is not fun at all. I don't
Really?
understand why anybody would watch this.
Oh, damn. I was thinking about it.
You can see, listen, our podcast will join us, but our streams will go in separate directions. And that is and I'm on board for whatever you're into, and you can follow or not follow. There's no, you're not required to do anything for me. But I think that a game that's back from when I was younger, that's coming up, I think in a week or two, is something, I don't know if you ever into skateboarding? Do you know who Tony Hawk is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, of course I know Tony Hawk. Everybody knows Tony Hawk.
Okay, great. Well, listen, he's one of my, I grew up idolizing him. And everybody had the Tony Hawk haircut, and me and my brother were big Tony Hawk video game fans, and apparently they've remastered it, and it's going to be coming out next week. So, fingers crossed, if my PC's up and running, that will probably be something I stream, very regularly, even because I think there's supposed to be an online version of it too. So, you'll have to let me know. Is there anything on the horizon, or I know you probably don't follow too much, but have you come across anything else that might be somewhere between Marbles and Warzone? Is there something that you think, once your system's ready to go, that you'd be wanting to take a stab at?
I honestly don't know, and I've been kind of thinking about it on and off all night, because tomorrow is supposed to be Tloe Tuesday, and my Warzone is not ready to go. I cannot. I probably can, but I don't think that it's gonna happen. I don't think that I can just sit there for 3 hours and play marbles. Like, I just don't think that's gonna happen, because like we were saying earlier, I mean, you press a button and you just watch these marbles fall. And
those socializing games are probably good for like Saturday night. Like, once your Discord and your music is up and running, and you got your crowd playing, like, that's all anybody's probably going to be able to do functionally. But for a as you listed as a 2 p.m. Central Time stream,
Marbles is not it.
Marbles is not it. So, and do you think you're did you tweak? I mean, you said you were frustrated over the weekend. You didn't get to work on anything. Are you ready to go, or is it the same situation, or have you decided to just go back until you're ready to? Well, I'm basically saying, what's your plan tomorrow? I just kept saying it in a circle, but yeah, what are you gonna do?
It's okay. What am I going to do? I don't know. I honestly, so Apex crossed my mind, but it's just, I don't know if I can get into it. It's too animated for me. Yeah. Like, it's just, I mean, I watched Brendan play it, like, because I just needed to get like an idea of it, and that's all I really saw about it. But as I was watching it, I was like, this is just like so weird. This is like so phony. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, to give you the just a breakdown of it to make it much harder. I know you talked about first person and third person perspective, or we did.
Oh yeah.
And I if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if you could adjust it, but I think you have a stranger perspective on this, and there's also a vertical. Like, I believe they could fly or jump or teleport or use a zip line.
They can teleport.
So that's I don't know how you could be good at that if you can't just run.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I thought about it too, and I can't imagine going to that myself. I'm gonna stick to I think Marvel's Avengers comes out as well in a week or two, and those will probably be on my radar. I don't really have any suggestions for you. I mean, there's a lot of free to play games, and again, it's do you want to invest in a game or put money down on something that you don't know if it's gonna work. I mean, I
guess that's part of it though. Like, it's all a big experiment.
That's true, and you have to keep reminding me that too, because I'm already telling myself by next Friday everything's gonna be like. Listen to me, I'm sitting here. I was just like, yeah, patience. I'm totally patient. I'm not in any hurry. I just need to have everything done by Friday. I swear to God, I will flip out.
God,
Yeah, so
it's awful.
well,
It's fine once you get it all figured out. It's just the process and actually getting your shit together is just like ridiculous.
Yeah, I can.
But I've actually had these conversations with Fizz and like asking him like, what else should I play?
Yeah.
Like this is before Marbles, so like he showed me a couple streamers, and like I looked at Fall Guys, and I guess that's when I saw Apex too, and then there was a couple like other ones that I didn't like. I was like, this shit's weird, so probably not. But I don't know. I think I just need to like see what other games are,
right?
Like what else is out there, because I really don't know.
Well,
so it'd be good homework for me to actually like really check it out.
Yeah, I in a weird way, you're confirming my my tournament of games. You know. Saturdays and Sundays, 2 hours tournament of games, ending in a champion who will be played by me for at least a day or two before I quit on that game. But yeah, my idea was just to force myself to play 16 games I otherwise never would have downloaded. I'm trying to stick to the free to play games, or I've had a PlayStation Plus account for a long time, so every month you get 2 free games, and I've always downloaded them and then deleted them, because once you do that, you have the rights to them. So I've gone back and looked for things that are just really obscure, really out there. And that's a way to go, except the problem with that is the people who are watching you right now, they're kind of expecting what you've been. It has me. I should not be thinking about this much. I have a job. I should be at work, concerned with safety and filing paperwork. Not like, boy, I sure don't want to mess up the 2 people who are like. Now I don't want to give up on Left 4 Dead. Let It Die, because I don't want those 2 guys to. I want them to come back and watch me, but
yeah.
Well,
see, that's why I thought about Apex, is because Bean, he plays it, and so I was like, okay, like I can check it out and like I can play with him. Like,
yep, absolutely. No, that's probably a way to go, especially this week. Do you know? Did Fizz mention if Apex has more of if it draws on the PC or messes up any more or less than?
It's way less than Warzone.
Okay, that's what I was hoping for too, because just for something to keep me occupied. I know my son likes to, even when he can't play some of the games, he's big into playing or watching me play. So and I'm trying to keep things, I'm trying not to sit in front of him and be like, buddy, you gotta give me like 27 minutes to get this set up, because he's just like, oh, your controller's busted. I'm like, it's not my controller, it's my Delgado capture card. It's like, Delgado. It's not a Delgado. It's an Elgato.
He knows.
No. He I tease him because he has a French accent, and none of us can figure out why. Yep. So my
left that part out.
Well, obviously it's probably just a slight speech impediment that he'll outgrow. But whenever I do an impersonation of him or tease him, he's very fact oriented. So if you say, like, I said, what did you want for lunch today? He goes, I would like to have a food, please. And I'm like, okay, but what kind of food? He said, the kind for lunch. So it's just this long, big circle of, specifics. He doesn't, he plays, he makes me feel the fool when he talks. But there's this weird, he has this weird sort of, there's a cartoon that was on when I was younger called Dexter's Laboratory. He might have been German. Yeah. Right. So yeah. I know he was German, but he sort of talks like this when he's talking. Like, hey, Dado, I need to go outside and see the birds and the bees and all of our fish. So, and that's just his accent, and it's the most adorable thing in the world. But me and my wife find ourselves explaining to people that like, no, he's American, and we don't know. We're trying to help you understand him. So
That came out of nowhere?
no, he's ever since he was a baby. He's had this. He started calling us Mamo and Dado, and we don't know why. So we've kept it, and everything is sort of, hey, where's the bird? Where are my cats? And it's just this weird sort of dialect. It's not regional. I mean,
Wow.
around here, it's sort of we got the Pennsylvania Dutch a little bit, but I have no idea why. I don't talk like that, and my wife doesn't. So nope, he's
How strange.
he just picked up this weird sort of this
Oh my
hiccup in his
gosh.
voice. So we enjoy the heck out of it, and he yeah. So I'm gonna make sure he's gonna get to stream a little bit with the Avengers game that's gonna be coming out soon.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and if you're not sure, I mean, my work schedule this week is it's my later days, so I'll be able to watch you stream a little bit,
Okay.
but I don't know if I'll be able to join, which is fine. I'm sure you have, there's a bunch of people who want to play, but if you know what game you're gonna play and you're worried you won't have enough people, you could feel free to shout me out and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna be doing, and because if you want to look good in a video game, play with me. I will I will make you look like a
Oh,
pro, not a
gosh.
problem. So, that being said, my friend, we have reached our time limit for the night.
Oh, okay.
I know, much calmer, much lower.
Wow.
I enjoyed this immensely, and I appreciate
Yeah, it
you,
was nice.
welcome to the revamped Rufus and Tloe podcast. We just have to do it
Yes.
late at night when we're both sleepy. So
Yeah.
I do want to mention to anyone who's listening that you are on Twitch at Tloe95, TLOE95. And you still keep your schedule listed as Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Central, correct? Or are you going to adjust
Yes,
that one?
correct.
Okay. Well, as of now.
The time is a little iffy sometimes. Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure.
Okay, so follow. Yeah, if you jump on and follow Tloe on Twitch, you'll be able to get notifications when she's on. I have currently switched all of my Randy136 Saya names over to Rufus Dummy, the name I love the most above everything else. So everything I have and everything I do is at Rufus Dummy, RUFUSDUMMY. I will be playing Saturdays and Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern, Sunday nights, and possibly during the week with my son. If my wife lets me play with them, and if it's not past our bedtime. So if you guys want to check out our website, it's rufusandtloe.com, RUFUSANDTLOE.com. That'll link you to everything else we have. So Tloe, it was lovely to speak to you again tonight. I hope you have a stress-free week. And
Thank you. I wish you the same.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, look it, we're such good friends now. I'm so excited.
BFF.
All right, well,
Oh my
listen,
God.
everybody. Signing off, Jesus. You threw me off with the BFF because I didn't know what it stood for.
Oh my God, really?
I have mental issues. We'll go over that over in the next episode. So, yeah. So thanks for listening, and as always, be good, be safe, and have fun.